3 reasons why Ethereum is going to be just fine, and we might see a bit of a rebound this month. Plus a lot of other very, very titillating crypto news. There was a big rumor regarding Trump's family and Binance CZ we're going to get into. We're going to clarify that. And then we've got an XRP announcement as well that we have to get into. I'm WendyO. I talk everything crypto every single day. To get more, make sure you guys subscribe with all alerts set, smash a like, and drop me a comment. Shout out to YouTube, shout out to Twitch, shout out to my TikTok babes, and of course, shout out to my Rumble babes over here. Let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to our channel members on the O Show on YouTube. Good morning to gorgeous Alexandra and Julie. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Shout out to Dale. Dale always pops up. Also, Mr. John Legend. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. It is Thursday. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so ready for it to be Friday. I don't know if it's because I'm a mom or it's because it's just so crazy. Yeah, Stray Dog is a Rumble babe. BMO is a Rumble babe. And then, what is it? DC Fan for Life is a Twitch babe. But I don't know what the deal is. And also, too, I did arms today, so my arms are a little bit like, This shirt is from the thrift store. Very, very excited about this. It's like $6 with 20% off. You know I roll in deep with the coupons. Anyway, but I'm like really excited for Friday. Tomorrow's gonna be unlimited pizza day and I cannot wait. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the crypto news and see what is going on primarily with Ethereum. I know it's not a fun topic. Everybody's like just so over Ethereum. So this is an article from Cointelegraph. 3 reasons why Ethereum can outperform its rivals after crashing to 17 months low. So this article here talks a lot about technical analysis and different things like that. However, one of the things that I think is really going to prop Ethereum up and will force it to perform better is traditional finance. And I know that is so crazy to say, primarily because Ethereum was created as this decentralized tool so that we can, build on top of it. We can create cool things, utilize smart contracts. We don't need those third parties. And again, Vitalik created Ethereum because he was playing World of Warcraft. He's like, hey, I want to own my stuff. Hence NFTs. So even though Ethereum is having some problems, I still think that it could potentially do well. And again, I am an Ethereum bag holder here. I need that $10,000 Ethereum, baby, okay? I need that $10,000 Ethereum. But really, we're going to talk about some of the other reasons why. But stories like this, CBOE files to allow in-kind redemptions for Invesco, Galaxy Bitcoin, and Ethereum ETFs. Again, with the current ETFs that we have with crypto, we've got like HBAR and Cardano and XRP, multiple XRP ones, Solana, Litecoin. I don't know if any of those are in-kind redemption. So that is going to make things a little bit more interesting because essentially right now you're buying a derivative. You're buying something that's kind of like Bitcoin or Ethereum with the ETFs. But when you cash out, you're getting cash. So it's not the same. But again, you're still having somebody custody your assets. So this is an important story. This is going to, get people a little bit more excited. But where is the other one? Is it this one over here? Yep, this over here from Cointelegraph. The SEC acknowledged filings to permit staking for both Fidelity and Franklin spot ETFs. So when we talk about the staking, that basically means that to me, in my mind, the way that I'm digesting it, thank you so much, Trinity. I appreciate it from Twitch. But in my mind, the way that I'm rationalizing it is that it's kind of like a dividend is, when you invest in a traditional financial asset and you get passive income from that. So that's what it feels like with the staking. And if they're able to do that, then it could potentially, cause more people to get excited about it. So I think a lot of the interest is going to come from traditional finance. And that's essentially will be the saving grace for Ethereum unless they can get something together with the foundation. And again, it's really just unfortunate it's what's happened with the foundation and, kind of with the management, I guess. And it's not really, and that's the thing. You're supposed to be operating in a decentralized economy. Maybe it's just the ETH community. I don't know. But me, I'm a big ETH holder. I like Ethereum. I like Bitcoin. I got Solana. I got all that stuff. But these are really some of the top stories that will essentially help push Ethereum, have it sustain. Because if it was any other coin, we would have some serious problems. So again, in this article over here says, Ethereum fell 13% from March 8th to 11th. They're saying that it needs to gain 29% to reach $2,500. Leverage buyers activity is at a 5-month low. 235 million in leverage long positions liquidated. Ethereum dropped to 1744. They're basically saying the 3 reasons why Ethereum will perform is layer 2 networks show efficiency and lower transaction costs. I primarily use Ethereum. I don't like to use layer 2s because I'm lazy. And I think I speak for most people that like just get into crypto. They don't want to use a freaking layer 2. They don't want to have to bridge and deal with all that stuff. But the fees actually on Ethereum, I was sending transactions this morning and earlier this week for like 35 cents. Another reason Ethereum regained the top spot in DEX volumes and TVL and network activity indicated potential price recovery according to analysis. However, my big thing that is going to save Ethereum is going to be once staking is announced. I think that is going to be absolutely massive. Plus, we have all the bank custody we have the Fed that said that banks could essentially custody and deal with crypto now. So that's going to help a lot. And I think a lot of these TradFi people, they're going to feel a lot more confident in Ethereum and the Solanas and some of these layer 1s than essentially layer 2s. And it's going to take them a while to figure it out. So I think Ethereum will have its time. Fingers crossed we hit $10,000. I'm going to start selling at $7,500. And also, too, this story over here. This says that Ethereum drops out of the top 20 protocols by 24-hour revenue, which is interesting over here. So we have a little bit of conflicting stories, but this right here, Ethereum average gas fees dropped 95% 1 year after Den Kun upgrade, which is good. This is good. We want lower fees. If Ethereum had lower fees from the beginning, and once they had the Ethereum merge from, which first off, I don't agree with the proof of work to proof of stake merge. I thought it was kind of a ridiculous thing. I know they said they were going to do it to scale, but in fact, it scaled for layer 2s, not the underlying layer 1. And I think that was a big mess up on their part, in my personal opinion, because people just want to use a layer 1. I mean, we see this with Solana. So there's that. Also, too, this is some analysis. This is some analysis with DeFi liquidations. A 20% Ethereum price drop could trigger 336 million in DeFi liquidations. Main risk is at 130 million Ethereum-backed loan in Sky, formerly Maker, nearing collapse. So again, that gets a little bit scary over here. But at the same time, I think things will be okay. I don't know if we were at the bottom yet, but we are getting close. So let's go ahead and take a look at our charts. Also, to you guys, make sure to smash a like. And if you want to trade with me, I am on crypto.com. I am on Femex. And if you use my ref link, that helps support me in the channel. Not your keys, not your coins. No reason to use more than 2 to 3 times leverage. And most of you have no business using leverage. But if you want to use my ref links, they're down below. That helps to support me. Now let's go, taking a look at crypto bubbles over here. Pretty much the entire market is down today, which is interesting because of this story over here regarding, where did it go? Regarding inflation. And PPI. So February PPI inflation fell to 3.2%, below expectations of 3.3%. Core PPI inflation fell to 3.4%, below expectations of 3.6%. And both CPI and PPI inflation both just fell more than expected. In February, inflation is cooling off. But again, as we say on the O Show, everything crypto every single day, inflation is transitory. You can play with the inflation numbers all you want, but that doesn't mean the cost of goods and services will go down. And that's a big problem. That is a really, really big problem. So we need to inject money into the economy some way, somehow. We don't know. So we'll see what happens. So that's being said, but let's go ahead and take a look at the markets. And thank you, Gamer. Good morning to Mr. Gamer. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, and then we will take a look at Ethereum and some of the other top coins, because that's what we do on this show. All right, so this is going to be Bitcoin. Our lady over here. Bitcoin, we had a nice move up to about $83,000, and now we're currently trading at $80,000. It is pretty crucial we hold support at $78,000. However, I'm still thinking that we may have a move down to $70,000 to $75,000. And again, if that happens, Ethereum and the rest of the market will tank, and then I will continue to accumulate more. I know there's a lot of people that are coming out. There's a lot of people that are coming out saying, oh, now is the time to buy. Now is the time to buy. I was buying when we were like dumping. I got more Link and I got some other stuff too. So when you see these cuckoo red candles, that's when you might want to consider accumulating more. Now, with that being said, you have trading and investing journals, and you should have that information in there. You should have that information there. That's my personal opinion. So anyways, back to this. So Bitcoin doesn't look super, super great right now. I'm going to go to this chart over here. This is my simple chart. But yeah, 71,000 looks pretty nice. It signifies these highs over here that we saw in 2020, May and June of 2025. So I feel like the move to like $70,000, I think that is coming. And again, hopefully that will be the bottom, and then we just teleport back up. Now with Ethereum broke down below $2,000, and it is not looking good. Not looking good in any way, shape, or form. And it is looking like we are going to get down to about $1,500 over here. So I think what I think was going to happen with the market, and again, this is just my opinion, this is the bearish scenario of the O-show, is that Bitcoin will see $70,000 to $75,000. Ethereum will bottom off at about $1,500. That's what I think may happen. Now with Solana over here, Solana is struggling a little bit as well. It is in a really, really gnarly downtrend. However, when we talk about these types of patterns over here, you can call these like the descending wedgies, and they dump and then they pop back up. So Solana did break. Solana really needs to kind of get back above 125, which is really important support. As you guys can see, these areas over here of almost all of 2024. The reason why 125 is important is because when we finally broke out above 125, that's when we started to make some nice upward gains. We saw, the local high of $209. So it does act as an important area of support and resistance. So we got to hold, we really got to hold 125 here. If not, we'll see sub $100. Where is my XRP? XRP does look the strongest though. Really does look the strongest. It's really been holding the line at about 190 for quite some time. So again, XRP does look the strongest out of pretty much everything in the market. Link is dropping as well. I'm going to start to add more in this area over here. And as far as XRP goes, we actually have a pretty big announcement with that. Where is it? Franklin Templeton joins XRP ETF. Rush files preliminary application with SEC. So yet again, we have another company that is interested in XRP. So Franklin Templeton, they joined the XRP ETF rush. They're the largest crypto asset manager, and the assets would be held via Coinbase custody. ETF shares will be trading on CBOE, BZX exchange, and the SEC has up to 240 days to approve or deny, which kind of coincides with what we were seeing in the past. In addition to that, Ripple secured full DFSA license to offer cross-border crypto payments in UAE, approved to operate in Dubai International Financial Center, which enables blockchain-based payments for UAE businesses and financial institutions. And there's a rising demand for cross-border payments in the Middle East, and Ripple is working with the UAE's central bank on stablecoin regulation. So again, we're seeing Ripple make waves globally, which is absolutely amazing. And the whole cross-border payments thing, that's wonderful. That's fine. Fantastic. We love it. We absolutely love it. Hold on. I got to change the title here. Right. There we go. All right. Mixing. I changed the title. Hey, WendyO, do you normally see a drop March, April during tax filings? I don't really follow that stuff too. This is the thing with taxes. There are people that file them on time, but I generally get extensions every year. And I know a lot of business owners that do get, shout out to Bruce so much. Fan care. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I actually have to meet with my sister today. So I'll use that and we'll go to Chili's or something like that. We'll go to Chili's. But thank you guys, 245 users. Make sure y'all smash a like. But as far as the tax season goes, I don't know. Oh, thank you so much. FR, I appreciate that. As far as the tax season goes, I don't necessarily know. It really kind of depends. So I don't use that as an indicator or follow that. But you can if you want to. I pay attention to the news and announcements and those types of things. So yeah, there's that. All right, let's get back in the news, y'all, and your dirty minds. And I'll do a fit check at the end of the show because y'all are cuckoo over there. Or maybe we'll go back. I went in and out yesterday. I was terrible, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. It was raining. I'm still a little bit under the weather. Shout out to chicken bone broth. I got Lois shake, fries. She ate half her cheeseburger, which I was proud of her because she doesn't always eat it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about traditional markets a little bit, okay? So this right here, we talked about the Ethereum ETF filing for staking and then in-kind redemption. That will be actually positive for Ethereum, and essentially TradFi will kind of take it over. And I just want my bags to pump at this point. I'm a bag holder. This is what a bag holder looks like. This face right here, $10,000 Ethereum. Now this right here, we talked about the PPI. They're just made up numbers. That's exactly what it is. But I want to talk about gold. So breaking gold. Spot gold price has officially surged to new record high, now just 1% away from crossing 3,000 per ounce for the first time Monday. So gold is hitting an all-time high. The fact that gold is pumping, the reason why we're covering it is because this does indicate the type of market that we're in, the type of economy that we're in. There's a lot of geopolitical uncertainty, crazy inflation in America, costs. And when I say inflation, I kind of say it as a playful way, because I really think that, it's a joke. It really is a joke. Inflation, a joke. But when all I care about is the cost of goods and services. So it's kind of the increased demand for gold is showing that people are struggling, in my personal opinion. Me personally, I think that it is a good hedge to have both gold and Bitcoin. You guys do what works for you though, okay? You do what works for you. Now, there's that. I just kind of wanted to show that for you. Now, I wanted to talk about this over here. Big shout out to VeChain. But VeChain executive reveals how Bitcoin U.S. reserves bills, reveals how U.S. Bitcoin reserve bills can overcome setbacks. I wanted to talk about this because we are going to be getting a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Well, we're getting one for sure with the money that was confiscated, but there are talking about another Bitcoin strategic reserve a little bit separate over there. So this is important. This is important. So basically, VeChain executive Johnny Garcia discussed Bitcoin reserve bill rejections. He emphasized lack of education as core issue, not just legislative resistance, and 5 states have rejected the bills. 18 states are still considering them. And we're talking about, there's like 3 different types of Bitcoin strategic reserves. There's some on the state level, which Dennis Porter has been working towards. He's part of Satoshi Akfund, Senator Loomis on a federal level, and then the Bitcoin that was confiscated. So I think that that's going to essentially combine into one, but I don't really combine into one. But this is on the state level. So he's basically saying that Bitcoin reserves can modernize financial investment frameworks, improve transparency, and reduce counterparty risk. And public skepticism remains high, especially regarding tax-funded crypto purchases. Garcia urges industry to showcase real-world value beyond speculation to win over policymakers. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that this right here, primarily because VeChain. If you want me to talk about PAX-G, you need to send me a link or an article why I should talk about it. I can't just talk about it. But with that being said, I mean, the whole reason why we like Bitcoin as a strategic reserve and as an asset being held by the public servants is so we can track it, so we can see exactly what's happening. Because the current state of America, you're not able to track these things. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing any way, shape, or form. And again, like with all the bonds and all the assets and the gold and whatnot, we still have to do an audit to see if we actually have some of it. So, or what they say that they have. Anyways, that's with that. But I appreciate VeChain's opinion on that, primarily because they're very into transparency and minimizing waste and supply chain management and all of that. Now, this story over here, this is from my buddy, Mr. Abacus. He says, update, city and state treat set to unveil Bitcoin and Ethereum custody operations. Institutional trading exploding. Bank see opportunity to take OTC business or buy it. Crypto native prime brokers will face increasingly competition, deeply depressed price as well. Institutional crypto architecture will evolve in speed of light over the next 2 years. This is kind of something that we kind of mentioned earlier. Now, let's talk about the bank's custody. And it's cool that Citibank is doing it. The banks, once we get like set laws and regulations of what banks can and can't do, what TradFi can and can't do as far as custodying crypto goes, we are going to see them fight. We are going to see them fight like crazy to get there first, to custody crypto first, because the amount of money that's there. That would allow direct exposure from everyone. Well, we have to see. I don't want to say everyone, because at the same time, we don't know where retail stands right now. And that's a little bit scary to me. And this is why I advocate for you guys to continue to use your voices. Now, with that being said, State Street and Citibank, we'll have to see what clients they're going to be marketing these things to. But again, I will continue to fight and advocate for retail. But again, that will, if they're going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum first, that's another catalyst that will help with Ethereum. Now, we talked about Ripple securing the approval from Dubai Financial Services. Wonderful for cross-border payments. Franklin Templeton, the biggest crypto asset manager outside of BlackRock, because BlackRock, you know about that. They filed preliminary application with the SEC. And again, once that lawsuit is over, it is go time. It is going to be absolute go time for many companies to file for the to get their ETFs, especially stuff that's made in America. Now, I want to talk a little bit about AAVE over here, because we haven't, I can't pull the article up. It's not working. But anyways, AAVE. AAVE is one of the OG DeFi projects, and they launched on Horizon targeting institutional adoption of DeFi with RWA projects. Horizon Zen is an older project. I held a couple meetups with them way back in the day at Crypto Space, but I don't know who's still running it. But good people as far as I remember. And Horizon's first product is tokenized money market funds as collateral for stablecoin liquidities using AAVE's GHO stablecoin, which is a hybrid model with permission RWAs, compliance, permissionless liquidity via GHO, and it aims to bridge TradFi DeFi, enhancing the stablecoin's liquidity. Now, one of the things I wanted to discuss over here, AAVE is a older project. It's an older project. It's one of the old school DeFi projects. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad project to have a little bit of exposure to, especially stuff like this. So I don't know. I think I'm going to take a look at AAVE again, because it's been a while since I've looked at it. Let's actually go do that now. And I will pull up my chart in a second. Let's pull up AAVE. Just do it on Coinbase over here. Okay. And I want to double check we have 220 people watching on Rumble. That's awesome. Make sure you guys smash the like and share this. That's almost as much as YouTube right now. I know today's a bit slow, but I appreciate it, you guys. All right. So this is AAVE. These are my levels from a long time ago. So let's start fresh with a brand new naked chart. So AAVE is not looking super great right now. It looks like it's continuing to drop. This was the all-time high, I believe, in 2021 of like $675, but we're kind of nearing a bottom area over here for AAVE, and I actually might pick some up. Right now we've got a range about 164 to 160. This is going to be the weekly chart. So I'm actually going to set alerts for AAVE, because this thing is absolutely free falling. And if we have announcements like this that big institutions are going to adopt AAVE or whatnot, then I think that might be good. Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I screwed this story up right now. I apologize. So they launched Horizon. Horizon is not the same as it's a different. Okay, I messed up. I'm sorry. So they launched Horizon, which I got that confused with the crypto project named Horizon Zen. So this is completely separate. It has nothing to do with Horizon, the crypto project. This is just AAVE. So this to me is incredibly bullish. I thought, okay, sorry guys, I made a mistake. But anyways, AAVE, they launched Horizon targeting institutional adoption of DeFi and RWA projects. DeFi is going to be massive coming. DeFi essentially kind of started slowly with Bitcoin, but merged over heavily with Ethereum. Ethereum made DeFi popular. And when we're talking about RWA for TradFi, we're already seeing it happen, but it's just done on a very, very small scale, and it's going to take some time. I think a lot of these big players are essentially waiting for set laws and regulations that they could operate in so that they don't get sued. But if they want to bridge TradFi and DeFi together, AAVE might be the one to do it. So it's trading at 165 over here. I'm going to see if we can continue to correct a little bit and break into my support and resistance area. Let's go ahead. I don't want to compare it. I want to add it to my watch list. AAVE on Coinbase. There we go. All right. Back in my watch list. I had AAVE way back. And then I forgot what I did with it. I think it got taken on one of the platforms that went down. Anyways. All right. Taking a look at the daily, we're kind of getting ready to bottom out. So I'm going to see what happens when we get closer to here. And then I will probably be adding some eventually. And then I also want to check AAVE is AAVE is it a US based project? Because if it is, that's going to make me very, very excited. Okay. Well, you don't have a search bar over here. Where the hell is AAVE? Oh, yep. AAVE is a US-based project. So I'm going to be adding that definitely to my watch list and probably try to accumulate some, especially because the chart looks so horrible right now. So I will probably be accumulating that. Again, I'm really looking to accumulate more I've got a decent amount of Cardano. I've got enough Doge. I think I've got enough XRP. I've got enough Solana. I think I want to accumulate more Link. I need to get more Hedera. I've got a decent amount of Avalanche, a teeny tiny amount of Sui and Litecoin. But I do want to get some AAVE. That's what I need to get. And I got Algo too. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about some of the rumors. There were some rumors that broke earlier today. I posted a Trump coin pump last night because someone tweeted that it had utilities. All right, so apparently Trump, this is a rumor. It's not true. This is according to Wall Street Journal, which I've got that's a Washington Post back there, but I've been in Wall Street Journal, I think. I have to double check. It's on my website. So the Trump family has been in talks for a stake in crypto exchange Binance per Wall Street Journal. That is fake. CZ had posted this. Sorry to disappoint, the Wall Street Journal article got the facts wrong. More than 20 people have told me they were asked by Wall Street and another media, can you confirm that CZ made some deal for pardon? And then again, it had to go with CZ getting pardoned because remember, CZ got in trouble. He essentially took the fall for Binance because the public servants went after him, even though Binance hasn't operated in America for quite some time. He did his time. They paid like the highest fine ever. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, he said, I've had no discussion of a Binance US deal with, well, anyone. No felon would mind a pardon, especially being the only one in the US history who was ever sentenced to a prison for a single BSA charge. Feels like the article is motivated as an attack on the president and crypto and the residual forces of the war on crypto from the last administration still work. I'm always happy to make crypto great everywhere, US and the rest of the world. It is good to see that even Wall Street Journal thinks I should be pardoned. This is interesting coming from CZ. I mean, I guess because it has to do with him being the whole pardon thing. But Richard Tang from Binance, I interviewed him actually on CoinMarketCap a while ago. But CZ is, I think just CZ is a little bit more popular than he is. So anyways, also too, I love that CZ said this. He says, you probably didn't notice that MGX invest in Binance, which MGX is part of Abu Dhabi, I believe. They invested $2 billion in Binance. It was announced directly on X, Binance Square, and Blog. It was not embargoed with any traditional media. We are the media now. So this just goes to show you where we are as far as crypto go, or as far as news goes. You have to actually go to the original site to get the truth. You can't trust a lot of mainstream media articles. And that's why I always say alleged or rumor, and then we confirm later. So interesting stuff over here. What else for today? Oh, this is from Miss Senator Loomis. And I think it's a little bit interesting that we will discuss. Let's see. Okay. So Ms. Loomis, she says, today, GOP banking will mark up Senator Hagerty's Genius Act. Here's a reminder of what this does. Defines a payment stablecoin, establishes clear procedures for institutions seeking charters to issue stablecoins, promotes responsible innovation, and protects consumers. And I want to say that I think Mixing, what did Mixing say? Hold on a second. Stablecoin bill just passed. Let me go ahead and pull this up over here. Hold on. Okay, so the Genius bill that we just discussed passed. And it passed out of the Senate banking with strong bipartisan vote or support, 18-6 vote. This is a huge step towards providing regulatory clarity for stablecoins and a huge step towards upgrading and making the dollar more competitive. Now, my personal opinion, CBDC. But that's not a popular opinion. It doesn't get clicks. So I'm just going to shut my mouth. Also from Caitlin Long, this is the funny thing of the day. She says, I want to ensure everyone that Machiavelli isn't going to awake from the dead and issue a stablecoin. Senator Lumen counters Warren's FUD that SBF could issue a stablecoin from prison or Elon Musk could do so for X. I think it's really funny that this came out primarily, or this was said from Elizabeth Warren, because it just goes to show how ignorant she is, how uneducated she is, and how much misinformation this woman spews. So shout out to Caitlin Long. Love her. She's amazing. Shout out to Loomis for saying that. But yeah, they can create stable coins, but you can't just, it's a complex thing. But I don't know. She's just completely full of it. Oh, this is about Memecoins over here. So lawyer requests Interpol red notice for Libra founder Hayden Davis. You know, the guy that helped the Argentina president make that thing, that coin, and he stole lots of money. Well, apparently he's in a whole lot of trouble. So anybody that was affiliated with him, doing business with him, they're probably in trouble too. So basically, Argentine lawyer requests international arrest for Hayden Davis. They raised concerns about Davis staying at large and using financial resources to remain hidden. Requests made to the courts for Interpol red notice to locate and extradite Davis. One important thing I want to talk about here is meme coins are legal, but fraud is not legal. And insider trading is not legal. And this is why this guy's in trouble. So he's doing really, really bad things, and then he went and admitted it. Also, too, Coinbase is delisting 3 tokens, which is unfortunate. They're delisting Turbo, Floki, and which other one are they delisting? Hold on. I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. It's Turbo, Floki, and another one, which I don't know why Floki, because I feel like Floki is one of the more legit ones, but what do I know? And I like Floki a lot. They're really cool, really, really cool team. But that's being done out of New York only. And again, New York is one of the tougher states to do anything in. So there's that. Also, too, there is a little bit of speculation with this story over here. And again, this has not happened yet, but apparently Rep Mike Collins said no taxes for people who make less than $150,000 per year is a supercharge that this economy needs to ignite. So let's go. Actually, I think I might cover this. Well, no, we'll cover it now, and I might cover it in a second video in regards to crypto. Now, when we're talking about taxes, the only way to really kind of fix the American economy, in my personal opinion, and this does segue to crypto and Bitcoin, so hold up over here. So what they're doing is Doge is going in and they're kind of like gutting everything, which is good because we shouldn't be spending money on things that don't serve the Americans' best interest, okay? Shouldn't be doing that. In addition to that, if we're going to be gutting all these taxes, we should kind of essentially redo how taxes are paid and what people owe and XYZ. Reason being is American families need more money. People in America need more money so they can afford things, because again, we're not able to, with inflation, you can lower inflation, but the cost of goods and services don't go down. So you're going to have to inject money into the economy somehow, and you can't force corporations and you can't force businesses to do it. So probably the best way to do it is to deal with taxes and the tariffs and all the things that are happening. And again, we don't necessarily know the outcome or what's going to work and what's not going to work. But at the same time, I am in agreement of allowing American families to have more money. And Americans in general, so that they can afford things like houses, food, shelter, gas, energy, those types of things. And again, when they measure inflation, they do not take a look at food, energy, and housing. That's important to know. So what will this do for crypto? Well, it will allow people, because people will be able to afford to live, they will be able to actually create. They will be able to actually create wealth and potentially buy crypto and Bitcoin and invest in this stuff, invest in gold, and they'll have more money to invest in 401k. So it'll stimulate the stock market and the crypto market. So overall, if that does happen, it'll be a good thing. If not, we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, that's a show for today. I'm sending y'all love and light. But I'm going to have a second media piece for you around 2 p.m. PST. Yeah, I know Bitcoin is struggling right now. Markets are struggling. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, you guys, smash the like. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. To Mr. John Germain too, where I don't know if he's here or not. I think he is. Everybody watching me on Twitch. Everybody that's watching me on Rumble. And of course, my TikTok babes. Got some more stuff for you guys too. Bye-bye.